Yes, except we're not using Zoom, so we're using, okay, and now the green is happening. So we should be good. You see the
Where's the
green
green?
on the bottom? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, good. So we're live and it's working. All right, now we have to adjust this again. Okay.
Well, and
you can hear us.
but we won't have to hear. You only heard that from your. Okay, but we're not live.
The producer was telling,
Where we were.
the producer says we are.
You see it on
And
there.
that he can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, we're live and you can hear us.
Good deal.
Yes.
Towel.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. Yes, finally.
It took us quite a bit of time.
What time did I get here? 1:00.
Was it 1:00?
Yeah.
I think we were a little bit late.
I was a little bit late, but you were already here, so.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So here we
I'm
are.
super excited. You know, one thing I do want to do since
Yeah.
I can.
Yes.
I-
Anything you want.
Yeah, I need to take down, like, quit my mail so that it
Okay.
doesn't come across. Yeah, it doesn't beep, right?
Oh,
'Cause
right.
That happened last time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
So this is
didn't
episode
notice that.
3, take 2,
Yes.
right?
So just take 2 or
3.2.
maybe.
It's take 2 recorded.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that was
All right.
fun.
Yeah. That's what that was.
We got it. Hey, actually, it's working from home.
So, but do we have
Right?
all of the bloopers saved?
Yeah, where I dropped her. I
Yeah.
spilled her drink.
Yeah.
We got more drink. We
Lot
cleaned up
more
the drink.
We should have showed how we created a table.
Yeah, that would have been.
Well, we didn't know we weren't going to be able to get everything working.
Yeah.
Actually, if we'd started with that, we would have been that first.
yes.
Out of the way, and then we can work on the table.
These
That
are
is not sure.
great lessons learned.
Not sure how much people really want to see.
Oh, I do.
Us fumbling around.
I would
Sure
watch
they
us
do.
fumbling around 100%.
More than
I
actually
want to
talking.
see what's actually happening.
You have to remember.
Sorry. But yeah, let's not do it twice.
Yeah. So yeah, the table is bouncing gently on a stool.
Ottoman.
Right?
Stool is more correct.
Oh,
Not
is
even
it?
an ottoman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it
we
is a
opted
stool.
against the ottoman.
Yeah, that was too short.
So it's bouncing on a
That's
stool.
even more precarious.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yes. So no leaning, ladies.
No.
No elbows on the table for today.
Right.
Practice our
manners and
etiquette.
Yes.
Yes.
I went to
Today.
finishing school. I
You
did.
did?
actually?
I did.
How do I not know this?
I probably didn't tell anyone. So,
I did
but I
too.
tell you,
I think.
did?
I don't know if it was called finishing school, but I'm pretty
like
sure.
charm school.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the worst, I guess, testimonials for this charm school was I went and then my cousins, which would mean something to you and not you, and definitely not the audience, but my cousins Lori and Amy
Uh-huh.
both graduated from the same finishing school, right? And
Really?
so, and if you ever meet Lori and Amy, like Amy had dreads forever.
Yes.
Lori, and they would never wear makeup. Like it's just
funny.
so funny.
That is so funny. I
And-
just don't ever remember, like, because you would think if you did it, I would have done it.
Yes. I
My mom's
I-
probably like, there's no hope for her.
no, and my parents were probably like, God, please, And the number one thing I heard in finishing school was how like everything I did was unbecoming, right? Like unbecoming of a
Of
lady.
course, yes.
And I'm like,
I don't want to be a lady.
Not in your definition.
right? And I think my mom's only goal was to get me to not like rub my mouth like
Literally.
that. She hated that. She still
That's
hates
acceptable when you're eating watermelon.
that. Okay.
There are times that's 100%.
Michelle does it after chocolate milk that she just does down.
Yes.
Which I
Any fancy
actually,
meal,
apparently
too.
I picked that up as well, or already did it, because Peter always says that I do that, like especially when I'm drinking beer, which is why I have straws in my vodka drinks. Because when I drink beer, like it's, it's just straight up out of the bottle or glass or whatever. And it's always like up here. So I like wipe it, and it's apparently I'm very unflattering when I do it. I mean, it didn't
Unbecoming.
stop unbecoming. To stop Peter from marrying me.
I mean,
but he likes to tell me about it.
A beer drinking woman
Right?
is totally like
saying, and I'm guzzling that, right? Take it back. All right. What are we talking about today? Ladies?
Ironically or not so ironically, working from home.
Yes.
But before we get into that,
Yes.
I think that we should make it a thing where if there was something we should have said in previous episodes, we bring it
I
up.
love that.
Because
Yes.
I was thinking that there were things I should have said.
Yeah,
Right?
I love that.
Because in episode 1, we were talking about like women friendships.
Yeah.
And like none of us could kind of come up with why women struggle. But women definitely struggle with friendships, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of women feel alone and they feel like they don't have anybody to talk to. And so I was kind of like ruminating on that, right? Like, what is so hard? And I think one, nobody teaches their girls how to be friends, right? Nobody teaches them how to be friends. And two, I feel like as society gets more into like a microwave society, then if somebody doesn't meet our needs right then, or it becomes like uncomfortable right then we cut bait and run, right? And we talked about that. We talked a lot about like the longevity of friendships and how to do that. But I feel like the problem is that same as in any relationship, even family, like brother, sister, let alone husband, wife, like if it's not good right then, which no relationship is all the time, we just cut out and go.
Yes.
And I think that that's what we're seeing, and that's how it gets hard. So anyway,
Well, and I think that to piggyback that, you're right, because look at your mom she has, aside from her sisters,
yes,
and then your dad's sister, but she also has lots of, I don't want to say lots, like she, doesn't cherish. She has a lot of a good core group of friends that she's had forever.
Yeah.
So she definitely taught you how to be a
100%.
friend.
And my mom would always
And me, she taught, shut us. And then same with our moms being best friends.
So you
so
saw
long.
it modeled,
Yeah.
and so did I, right? Like,
Mhm.
so it's funny because my mom
Very
would
much so.
have she'd have sleepovers with her friends when I was growing up, and I didn't think that was weird, right?
Right.
Like they'd have sleepovers.
My
they'd
mom
go
thinks
to-
that's a very weird thought. That was very weird. To this day, she would like literally just even, I don't even remember what we were doing, but a year ago, something with my friends who, I got to know through Tyler playing
Yes.
baseball, and the husbands all coaching together. And so we became friends. And then from there it's got, but so they aren't my lifelong friends.
Yes.
They will now be my lifelong friends, but they
Yes.
were not people I've known forever. And she thinks it's so weird that we can go, weird, but yet she loved it and was
Yes.
like, I just can't be more thankful that you have the friends that you
Yes.
have. But she's like, that y'all will go and spend the night in a bed together, like in a hotel. And she's like, even me and Debbie wouldn't do that, who had been best friends for 40 years,
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so true. It's very different. I'm like that with all my friends.
Yes.
There's nothing off limits. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I'm very open, and they just so happens I happen to pick friends that are the same way. But that's
There are some things.
sleepover.
There
Yeah.
are some things off limits. We don't have to
Totally.
discuss what they are.
Yeah, no, because today our producer, my
Yes,
son, is
that's
listening,
right.
so we won't do
These are
that.
awful. We'll go there
Dang
another
it, now
time.
Tyler knows our thing, he's gonna come.
That's right.
Tyler, if you're still listening, you have to ask before you watch any episode.
That's right, And I actually have a little setting there set to where it's not appropriate for kids. But I
Okay.
think mainly, our
No,
kids,
I was getting ready to say,
right? Because my
and
kids
for
are grown-ups,
everybody
but-
watching, my son, today we were trying to set up, and so my son is up there upstairs because it's a half day for school, and he is watching us as we live stream this, so he could tell us if he could hear us or see us or whatever. So yeah, Tyler,
And
you don't get to
thankfully-
watch. without
Thankfully,
us.
he did, because you couldn't hear us,
Right.
and I don't know that we would have known that,
No,
No, we wouldn't have.
right? So
I,
we would have
I
been-
know I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, it would have been a
Hopefully,
lot
he's continuing to check in.
of this, and then we would have been like,
Text
"Dude,
and
this
tell
is
if you
good,"
can or
right?
cannot.
So, all right. So that's what I had from like leftover business.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
said we make it a thing because that was kind of grating on me.
Oh,
And I was like, I don't want to re-record,
yeah.
but I feel like, episode 1, we talked about this, and I feel like it.
It could
Mhm.
almost, we could do the first, 10 minutes of our thing, 5 to 10 minutes, whatever, and just be like going back, even if it's something from several episodes ago that we think of that we're like, you know what, I mean, that's any conversation you have with
That's true. That's what I was
somebody.
gonna
You
say.
always think, I wish I, woulda, coulda, shoulda said this,
Right,
so we can go
totally.
back and
Yeah, I love that.
do that.
And it must work because Netflix does that. Right? When you're watching a show and
Oh,
it'll show
yeah,
you
yeah.
like the previously.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
You know what else does that?
What?
Which you wouldn't know because you don't watch it.
Hunger
Bravo.
Games.
Oh,
They don't do that,
Bravo.
do they? Really?
I don't know. I was just making a
Well,
joke.
that's true. You wouldn't know that if it's.
I just need to say that if you two were into, I could do a whole nother podcast on reality TV because this week some shit went down.
Well, you can tell us about it.
Well,
Should we watch it so we understand, or can you just like make it good?
yes, no, you should watch it, and then we can do a whole episode about it. Like I
You have to give me a few
if I watch
episodes
Hunger
that I
Games,
watched.
Yeah.
I mean, after 3 years of me begging to watch Hunger Games, if you watch that 1 hour and 20-minute movie, then yes, I will.
I'm going to need you to watch more than an hour and 20 minutes.
Hunger
I
Games-
will cook for y'all. I will supply you with alcohol, whatever you need to sit on my couch and watch these with me.
That's what we might have to do.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd do that on my own.
No, I definitely won't.
Okay.
I'll say I want to, and I really will want
we've
to
been
for
friends
you.
so long. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go like.
And that can also piggyback on our friendship because actually, while we all have our core values are very much the same,
Yep.
which to me is the most important thing.
Yep.
There's not much other than that we have in common,
That's right.
other than each other and our love for each other. You know,
That's
like.
right. Yeah, I can't imagine.
But it's really
watching-
about our values and our morals that are very similar.
And it's so funny because that's what people think. So we've all been married a long time, right? Over 20 years.
Yes.
And it's like what is something that is like a non-negotiable,
Uh-huh.
right, in marriage. And I think really it's like wanting to live the same kind of life, right?
Yeah.
So like to me, it sounds silly. People say I couldn't, I don't want to get beat on or anything else.
Right.
Like, other than that, like what matters to
matters,
me
yeah.
is like I couldn't be married to someone who wanted to go and be the social, person.
Right.
Because eventually he's going to go, and I'm going to no.
Right.
Right. And then that's going to create that divide. Right. But he and I, we like the same kind of pace in life. And I feel like that's what we all have
This
that
whole
too.
podcast could end up taking a whole different spin than what we intended it to be.
Yes.
Only because with my thing with that, do you think that he was always going to be like that? Or do you think he became more? Because I feel like in the beginning of our marriage, I was more the dictator in just like he expected, not expected, that sounds horrible, but like he knew I'd make the plans for us.
Mhm.
I would get our weekend set up, whatever we were going to do when that mattered, like when we both did have the
Yeah,
same of going out. But then along the way, there have definitely been times where I'm like, I have no desire to go do anything.
Yes.
And he wants to, and I suck it up and go and end up having a great time.
Mhm.
Always. That's always the case. Or we don't, and he sucks it up and stays home, or vice versa. And so I just wonder, because y'all are very similar in that way, and you've never deviated from that. It's never been a one way or the other.
No.
And I think y'all are like us, where you've very much been, or it seems to be on the same
Yeah.
page with doing things.
I think for us, so I can speak to like right now, which is different than when we were first together. Now it is more, I think sometimes he actually pulls me forward and sometimes I pull him back.
Mhm.
But I don't think either one is a bad thing, right?
Right.
Like sometimes it's like, I could just literally never leave my house.
Yeah.
Right? I could literally just
I'm
sit in my
becoming that
backyard or like
Mhm.
sit, read a book. I could read
Yes.
5 books, not watch the Hunger Games, but I
Yeah,
could
all
sit-
day.
I could just do me for like,
Yes.
right, and be completely fine. Where he would lose his mind
Yes.
doing that. And so, but it's good to get pulled out of that.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
right, it's good to not be the person who never
Totally.
leaves the
Well,
house
you
for fun.
need to, it's not
Right.
right?
Right, yeah. But it also is good to sit down and not
Yes.
have to be out there moving and shaking and meeting new people and doing all the things. Like, it's okay
Don't
to
you
chill
think
out.
it's easier though? I feel like it's easier to suck it up and go out for a person that likes to be home than to have a person that always likes to be
I
able
would
to go,
imagine.
I
suck it
don't
up and
know.
sit down.
I mean, because some people are literally, like, it makes them anxious to go. Like,
No,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
It's
if
an
it's literally like,
anxiety
I
thing.
do
But
not
if it's
love
like
this.
I don't love, and I know you love this, I don't love to go out to eat. I would
Oh my God,
much
I love
rather.
it.
I do too, which is
She
funny
loves
because I
it.
never want to leave my house, but I will totally go.
No, I
Yes.
hate everything about it.
And I hate
don't
when they
know-
rush the meal too.
Yeah, like let me enjoy this.
Now I
Yes.
love it when we do
Okay.
it, but or if it's a group, but like to just be like, oh, we're home and I don't want to cook. And I don't know if it's because we live in an area so that you know there aren't many restaurants around us. I mean, it's getting bigger and we're getting more. Nothing that makes me want to leave my house. So
yeah, like we're getting
But-
7-Eleven and Wawa.
well, and our even
Yeah,
our
it's Dunkin' Donuts.
I mean, we don't have any chain things down here. Anything that we do have is kind of more of a local whatever, which is usually better, but trust me, it's not that good. It's good for what we have. But because we have to drive so far,
Yeah.
that's where I never, because when I worked out of the home, which is what we're supposed to be talking about, I would have to come, 20 minutes home.
Yes.
And then I'm like, I don't want to turn right around and go 30 to 40 minutes somewhere else for a really
Yeah, somewhere
good
decent.
restaurant. Right. And so, and now that I'm working from home, it's like, I don't want to get ready. I'm not ready. Like I don't want to. Now for you, which is part of something we can talk about, and I didn't mean to cut us off from the other and lead us into this, but actually it's what we were going to talk about.
It's perfect.
My job, I'm a realtor and I'm on a team that is very social media driven in a very good way. And we should be, I should be, I want to be, but I don't like being in front of the camera, even though right now I'm very much in front of the camera. It's different because while I know there are people that could be watching me, maybe you're not. We may never have people watch this, so I feel safe in that way. I don't like to be on camera otherwise. So I don't like my picture taken. I don't like any of that. And so I don't get ready. If I'm doing the social media stuff I'm supposed to, I would be getting ready. And then I would be like, okay with it. But now I'm not. And that's my excuse why I don't have to go out and do anything. I don't want to get ready. I don't want to go to dinner. I don't want to do anything. Like, just let me home.
We don't do the last minute, like, I don't feel like cooking. So
Oh
let's go.
yeah.
Like,
You plan it.
yeah. If we're
Well, we
going
don't
to go
You
either.
make
out,
reservations.
yeah,
Totally.
it's going to be like a plan.
But I would
we're
know
not.
that I'm not getting ready. Like, I won't probably be getting ready that day unless I have like an appointment or something. So I am just like,
Even if it was like Saturday night, the plan is, and
I mean, I'll do it, but I don't want to. Once I get there, I'm fine.
yeah.
But I don't want to.
Wait,
And I don't.
what about not going out to eat, but like doing something? Because
I
feel
do
like
that
you
all
do
the
a lot.
time. I do that all the time.
Okay.
I could be the one that stays at home all the time, but I know I want to be with those people, like that
Got
we go and do things with on the weekends. I very
Okay.
much want to be with them, and I have so much fun when I am with them. And it's easy. I'm going to a house, either one. It's going to be a house down the street,
Mhm.
Yes.
and I can wear my comfy clothes. I could go
Okay.
in no
Yeah,
makeup
because
or
you're not
makeup.
getting ready. So it is about the getting ready.
It is. It's all. I hate getting ready.
Now, are you considered yourself getting ready right now?
Yeah.
Okay, because you look good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you because I did put effort. in.
Okay. I was gonna say, but you're still comfy.
I wasn't born this way. You know that.
You still- but you still look good. You know, like you
Yeah.
look cozy.
But I had to put my clothes are comfy
Okay.
and I'm fine in what I'm wearing. It's-
Okay.
I don't want to put makeup on. I don't want to do my
Oh.
hair. I don't want to.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do makeup and hair.
No matter what. But
Probably
you're very
no
much
matter what.
on
Really?
social media.
No, I don't. I mean, even if I'm not gonna be on social media, like I will. Rarely do I not put makeup on and do my hair. Largely,
Like-
I don't want to look like myself when my husband comes home. Right? It's like I want to be. You
And
know,
I love that. 'Cause
somewhat
that is.
like-
You must really like him. I'm
I
like,
love
dude,
him.
this is what you get
Oh, I
today.
think about it. I'm
I
like,
hope
that
that,
should
like-
probably look better for him when he comes home. But then I'm like, where are you going? What are you gonna do?
No, it's funny because like I will go, like to Food Lion and like, barefaced, hair a mess, you know what I'm saying, not care
But you won't.
unless I'm with Chris, right? I won't do it with Chris.
Well,
Or
Chris is
it's
hot, so, I
he's
mean.
hot, yeah. It's like so. I just, but no, I always like will put on makeup, regardless.
Yeah.
But to answer your original question, so Chris is actually more of a homebody than me. Like I've got to drag him out, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes even fight the angst of like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I'm
can see
like,
that about him.
Yeah. So but
And to
it's always
piggyback
worth it.
that and his hotness,
Yes.
Chris is very hot, and so he did some landscaping in a house across the street that I was selling a couple of years ago. And I knew he would do a good job, and I didn't trust anybody else to do it. and also didn't want to pay anybody else to do it. I wanted to pay. If I'm gonna pay somebody, it wasn't me paying them. The seller was. But anyway, he came and did it, and it's July, and it hot as can be where we live, very hot and humid. And so he's outside with his shirt off, and I walk outside, and I'm like, oh dear God, thank God the people that live on my street would not be like drooling over him. But I'm also like, if anyone happens to see him, just know his wife will kill you. So don't make it a deal. Don't make it whatever. But I was like, I wanted to yell across.
Pretty
Put your shirt on, Chris. People might look. They're going to look.
That's right.
And we live on a court that no one comes into. But I'm like, oh God, she'll kill somebody.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Although I'm so grateful because Chris is pretty like socially awkward and standoffish. So that saves us, right?
Yeah.
Like, if he had some like gregarious personality,
Totally swagger,
but he
was
comes
all-
off as an asshole.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think he comes off as an asshole, but I think he comes off as
maybe because we know him.
right.
Yes.
And he's
You know it
he's
now.
just very.
But you're not
He
gonna
doesn't
like,
open the invitation.
no, like
especially
no
for
woman's
women.
gonna hit
No.
on him
Yeah.
unless she is really, she's a bold woman.
Yeah, and
Who's
maybe
gonna
a little
hit
crazy
Yeah.
because you would have to feel his energy
of awkwardness.
of I don't
Well-
want you, so don't even come near me. So you are risking total rejection, and you're
Yes.
gonna get it.
Yeah, and yeah. So and
Yeah.
to me too, it's like I've told you all the hot dog story, right? So
Oh,
like
yeah.
this one was bringing him a hot dog at school. He's a teacher, and which is unacceptable because I'm his wife and I bring him lunch.
Yeah.
right.
Or make his lunch.
Not so much in the last several years. But I do make sure he gets lunch every day. Sometimes I crumb of it. But it doesn't matter.
Oh, I love that actually.
Yes, I
think
make
that's
sure.
sweet.
Yes. So anyway, but another one was bringing him hot dogs, and it was like an opening door. She was trying to open that door, and I know that it's a big joke, and
Yeah.
it is a joke because he had to call her and tell her how much he appreciated the hot dogs, but he couldn't get any more. Then no one got any hot dogs from this woman. So it
Peter
was,
would have been like, I'm not telling her that. I am going to pretend like I've developed an allergy.
yes.
But I am not going in there. I love that he did that.
Well, Chris had the option of me addressing it or him. And so he opted to address it. But anyway, so I'm grateful for that because
Yes.
he's so like women would have to really be full of themselves and
Yes.
confident to approach him because he feels
Which I love.
standoffish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it saved us, I think.
But you're the same way. Like, I mean, I don't think anybody that knows you guys wouldn't know from right off the bat. We're loyal. Like we are.
Yeah.
There's no. I mean, we all are that way. But you guys are. You are very much in love with him and vocal about it, and he's very much in love with you, even if he's not vocal about it. We
Yeah.
see it.
It's so
Whenever
funny
you-
because like, on social media, women will like complain about like, I gotta, this pic or these men are hitting on me. And I'm like I'm not entirely unfortunate looking.
Right.
I'm never hit on ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the things that like
Ever.
happen, right? Like, I mean, I'll go out to dinner with like male clients and whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes out of town or
Right.
downstairs in the hotel room I'm staying in, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like not once is somebody like putting their hand on my knee.
Ever.
They know.
Like, no, it's just
But that's that same what I was saying about Chris.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna feel it. We have that as well, just in a
Yes.
very different way because we are, and you are too, just in a different way. But we're very talkative and
Mhm.
outgoing. You're talkative in the setting that you're interested in. Like you're
Yes.
not one. You are the one where they always say like the smartest person in the room is the quietest. You are definitely the person. Listen, you are, and you are always in a room full of people. 9 times out of 10, you're not the one talking. You're
Totally
listening.
And I'm watching the
Taking
room
it
going,
in.
You are. Holy shit. These people are nuts. Yes. You are.
It's true though.
But when you're more of a one-on-one or
Totally.
a few people,
or a couple, yes.
I'm talking.
Yeah.
And
I don't do small talk very well anyway.
Yes.
And that
Yeah.
there's a lot of that in those rooms. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, it makes me feel awkward because
Yeah.
I don't know how many times we can talk about how like it's cold now.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
hey, it's daylight savings time coming up.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Totally.
that is, it's awkward. for me.
Actually, I can talk small talk all day long. I'm not happy
Yeah.
about it. I'm not interested in it, but I can do it.
Seem like you are.
No.
Like, and I don't mean
Right,
that in a
no.
negative way. Just to be clear, like you don't
Well,
seem like.
listen,
I'm doing
that's
this
why
'cause
I
have
do what
to.
I do for a
Yes.
living, because I can small talk it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and not be hating it. I'm not like, well, it's not my choice. I don't prefer it,
Yeah.
but I can do it
Yeah.
and be fine with it.
It's interesting because you can do both.
But I can also get you past the small talk
Yes, you can do both.
into the
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will get you there.
That's my mission.
awesome.
I will
Look
hook
you.
Get you there. Yes.
Yeah, I can't do the awkward at all. In fact, somebody reached out and said, I have some people who want to know you and they want to, do business with you. And I'm like, great. And like, hey, can we do like a Zoom meetup? And I'm like, great. And this is like every business owner's dream, right? Like, I want to bring you clients, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, perfect. So what's the agenda, right? Like, what is the topic? I can't show up there.
You just want me to tell you my life story?
Yeah, I
Like,
can't do that.
Yeah.
I gotta know, like, what is it's just like dancing, right? So if I have an 8 count, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And otherwise, I'm
I'm
not
not.
really instructed like, at all,
Yes.
right?
Totally.
So, but anyway, working from home.
We totally did not. I feel like our title needs to be changed from working from home
But
to working from home and other shit.
yes, I think that should be
And
all
other
it.
shit.
Yes,
Yeah,
that should
needs
be
to
the name
be
of the podcast.
name and stuff. And
And
shit.
other shit. Yes, and other shit. But I think that this was, if you look at the bloopers of like the take one, that was us trying to set up working from home.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Like that was what,
100%.
that was what we were trying to do.
And I keep getting, I don't know what I'm getting, and I don't really want to look at my phone except for unless
Working
it's
from home.
Tyler
Yes.
That's how this works.
telling me.
Well, and
Yeah.
you're
Parenthood. Yes.
But
Yes.
so so to me, I know I've always worked from home,
Always.
since at least like 24 years now, even before. So I've worked from home for so long that I remember buying a CD off of and I saw like people talking about Good Morning America, and it played call center sounds because like it was super suspicious 24 years ago
So
to work from
quiet.
home, right? Like
Yeah.
Oh
you
my
didn't tell
gosh.
people that.
Yes.
And then fast forward, like I bought not last Christmas, the Christmas before, I bought Chris a membership to bespokepost.com.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's like every month, it's like $50 or whatever, but
Yeah.
he gets like this new box.
That's what I was
or
going to
whatever.
say, and I always forget that because I remember him talking about how much he loved it, and
We love it
Yeah.
still. I mean, it's just like, and like he has a box waiting for him when he gets home today, right?
Yes.
And so, and you can skip boxes, or you always get to choose your box.
Yeah.
So, but long story short, so I've always loved the company, and then I called because in December his box was like delayed, but it was going to be part of his Christmas. So I was like looking
Oh,
for
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and so I
because you
had
can tailor it
yes.
each specific month, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And I had to call, and the lady answers, and there's a crying baby in the background. Unfortunately, there was also like she didn't have good service.
Oh.
So, but Rick, I was so like glad that they let me
Yes.
work from home. So for
100%.
me, I can't
And I
imagine.
can work through that.
Yeah,
I can call it like, do not. If I called and heard that, I'd be like,
I was like,
just
oh my
gotta
God,
do, like,
they let
yes.
you work from home,
Right.
You know,
Yes.
and I left like.
oh yes,
It was so, for me, I'm super passionate about it. I'm more productive at home. I can't imagine like having to leave my house and drive somewhere to work.
Yeah.
And it also just allows me to like, my husband, he'll come home and I always have, like some sort of like meditation music playing in the background and the candles are lit. And he's like, oh, because he
Feels
works his
good.
job out in the
Right.
right,
Yes.
but I love it. And I don't get distracted, much to my husband's chagrin. I don't
Yeah.
get distracted by housework or laundry or any of that.
right.
Doesn't bother me a bit.
Yeah.
And but I know
Well,
you prefer.
I struggle. And so what is interesting is you have never not worked from home, essentially in this
Yes.
business.
Oh
You obviously worked outside of the home prior to this, but when you started this business, it was from home and to work from home, and you've been incredibly successful at it. You started your own business where you worked outside of the home. It became very successful. And then because of the pandemic, you started working from home, and you've been able to be successful and great at that.
After the pandemic, did you go in every day? Pretty
It
much.
was most days, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went from a full-time working out of the home job, working in an office, also doing something completely different from what I do now, and working with my best friends, 4 people that I love who are like a mom and dad, to working from home as a real estate agent, a realtor, and literally I had no training, I had nothing. So everything about me was self-taught. And I had to do it all from my home. And I struggle like you would not believe because I didn't already have that success there. It wasn't like I already had this established routine or I have to learn the job.
Yeah.
A job that requires a lot of marketing, a job that requires a lot of social media or just getting yourself out there, a lot of trying to generate leads, trying to do whatever, and figure all that out on my own from home with a schedule. It's been very hard. Not was, because I've been doing it now for almost 6 years, and which is crazy to say, right?
Yes.
And I still struggle because I've never had. I'm having to always learn it, and I just watch these two. But it's just very interesting how it goes from you starting that way and totally going into it
Out of
and really do
necessity
it,
because
right?
And
then you having it already built in your success, and then taking it home. To me, being someone who was only a 9-to-5er my whole life, and then at 40 years old, I decide to do a different career and also work from home. It's been crazy. So that's why I really wanted to talk about this topic so much, is because you both are very successful in it. However you got into it, and I think there is a lot of people now working from home because of the pandemic, and then companies realizing we can do this. People can work from home and be successful, which is amazing. But what about the people who are starting off and doing it from their home, and the people like me who are doing this? I mean, I guess that's essentially me starting off doing it from home, but yeah.
I love it because it takes the onus off of just showing up as an actual benefit your employer. If you're employed, to me, I don't care how long it takes anybody who works for me to get something done. If they can get it done faster, then great. And they just kind of got a raise per hour. That's the way I look at it. Yeah. And so to me, it's when you take the onus off of clocking in, then you get to measure other deliverables, right? That to me is what's most important for work, Right. But I think that if I never thought about it with you, you hadn't gotten into a routine, you weren't taking a routine from the office and then making it at home.
No, or even having my business built where I'm, most agents work on referrals and whatever. So it wasn't like I already had built that business and then it's okay, now we need to go home and work from home. And I just take that with me. I had to do it all. And so it's been hard, but yes, I think that I think that there are self-motivators who you are. I am not a self-motivator. I need accountability. I need someone to hold me accountable and motivate me in a very big way. So that's also a problem because then nobody cares if I'm working because nobody is depending on my money but me, So in real estate, it's okay, if you make money, we get a piece of it. If you don't, oh well.
Right. Well, to be fair, when I first started my business, all the accountability I ever needed came in the mail. In the form of bills.
Yes,
right. They showed up. I mean, you couldn't pay a coach to be that
100%,
consistent.
right.
They showed up every month. There was penalties if you didn't.
And now it's going to cost you more.
Yeah.
Right?
People are I need accountability. I'm don't you have bills?
Right. Yes.
They kept me pretty
But
accountable.
here's the thing that I think you don't give yourself enough credit for is that, there's accountability. But then how do we self-motivators know how to then spin that into, this is what I need to do to get it done. And you created your own business.
Yeah.
I didn't create the business I'm in. You know what I mean? Somebody else did. So it's I have to then figure out, how do I make this work? It's just very hard. Whereas same with you. You did create your own business, even though it was a business that's already been around and you had done it for other people. You created it and then you were able to go. But I will say or ask, was it hard for you coming home to then be like, okay, I've got to get up at this time. I've got to do this and this and this. I don't think you had a choice. Like,
Yeah.
so maybe not.
So, gosh,
because
there's
us
so many-
agents are like, close our stuff right now.
There's a lot, for me, there's a lot of pros and cons for working at home. Because there's like as many benefits as there are. Like, I do think I am more productive at home. I do think that
Less distractions,
thinking about
yeah.
even, I mean, honestly, like I don't have to get ready,
Right.
right? Like to start working. And so I can
And
start
you're
working right away.
naturally pretty and don't need makeup.
That's
So
what I say all the time. So there's that, and then the drive time, and getting
Yes.
situated, whatever. Like all of those things, to me, it's like
you gained
how much could I accomplish during that time?
100%.
Like,
Very true.
I think though, so for me specifically, because we've created such an amazing culture,
Mhm.
like there's something about that team getting together and
I
engaging
agree.
in person. Like that is real. Like you are not getting it from the computer screen. I don't care if the whole company's on the
Yes.
call. It's not the same. Like it is absolutely not the same.
Right.
So I don't know that one way is necessarily better or
Mhm.
worse, whatever. For me, I
You
do like
like
the
the hybrid.
productivity. I also like that, like, if I go into the office, I find that people will need my time more.
Mhm.
Like where if the barrier is I've got to pick up the phone and ask
Yeah.
this
They figure it
question,
out.
they'll figure it
Yeah.
out, right? Or
True.
so but if I'm right there, it's really easy to go, oh,
Right.
da 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 da,
And that's
right?
so funny because
Yeah.
we did that at State Farm when he wouldn't come in, when
Totally.
John America wouldn't come in.
Yeah.
Who were we asking? We're figuring it out.
100%.
But if they were there, and we'd walk in and be like, well, let me ask this question.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So the productivity is up in all those ways. Now, I also do not get distracted with laundry and things like that.
Yes.
In fact,
I 100% do.
Paul is like, how hard could it be for you to put some freaking clothes in the laundry
Well,
machine? And I'm like, I
it's-
mean, I might remember to put them in, but I'm gonna forget
Definitely
that
not
they're even
switching up.
there, and I'm gonna have to wash them again later
Yeah.
because they're gonna sit for 5 hours
And
because I'm doing stuff. Like,
Yeah.
right?
leave me a list. If you want something
no,
done
don't leave
other
me.
than I wanted the
yes.
list. I mean, it saved my marriage.
I want a list in general of the things you expect.
Right. Like,
Okay.
don't tell me a to
But
do
I
specific.
can't, like, don't in my day of like stuff
Yes.
that I know I have to accomplish. Your laundry, well, he doesn't do laundry, but
Yes.
these things
Yeah.
are not my priority in this 8
Well,
hour,
yeah,
9 hour
and-
window.
To be fair, you're working from home.
Yes,
Your kids were old enough to do their own laundry by the time you were working from home.
yes, I would say so.
Totally. I mean, it's
Yeah,
been 3 years.
Yeah.
They were all old enough that if they needed to,
Yeah.
they could. So like it's very different where when your kids were little, you were ignoring things that they needed.
Yes.
You were not ignoring anything. You didn't
No.
overlook their need
Mm-mm.
in that moment or of anybody,
Yes.
So it's yes.
So even though my kids are all in high school and some are about to leave high school and me, I do still get up and make them sandwiches every day.
Yeah.
It is a big deal to me. Like I won't
Yes.
even, if I have to go meet someone early in the morning, someone's like, hey, grab coffee, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, not until after, like I won't be able
Yeah.
to meet you until this time
Yes.
because I'm watching them leave
Yeah.
every day. Like
Yes.
it's very, I'm like, I'm not going to lose that. I'm
Yes.
just not. So for me right now, I have a purpose to have to get up
For
to
that,
have
yeah.
to do the,
Yes.
to prepare for them.
Yeah.
So and in the summertime, I think I generally just keep that. It's like, I don't know, your body
Yeah,
clock
yeah.
is just working.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I do set an alarm just in case. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't be
I
like,
could sleep in
you
if
know,
I so
Yeah.
I need to set this.
and I've got an 8:30 call
Yeah.
that I'm on every day and all that stuff. And so like, I definitely don't want to be like 8:15, like, oh, waking up.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
already have been up for a while and
Yes.
mapped that like conversation out and all that good stuff.
So I always did Tyler's lunch until I started working from home. And then I was like, I don't need to get up. So I will, which was where I went wrong. But I was like, Peter can do it. He's got to get up anyway. And even if I got up, because I did drive him to school every morning,
Yeah.
from that point. But I was like, the getting the lunch ready, he can do because
Yeah.
I'm then taking him to school.
Yeah.
And whatever. And I for whatever reason, it became a thing of like, if Peter was ever like, gosh, I would really love to sleep in and you get up and make his lunch. I'm like, really? Will I make his dinner? Do you want to make his dinner?
What time did you
And
wake up?
I am honored to make his dinner. I don't know why you're not honored to make his lunch. Like, it is my pleasure to do that for him. Like, I don't understand.
What time do you wake up?
Well, I wake up every morning when they wake up, but
Okay.
I just don't necessarily get out of the bed.
Yeah.
I'm
Gotcha.
usually out of the bed right after, like, Tyler leaves at like 8:05. I'm usually up or getting up right after that. And
Okay.
and yes, or I mean, sometimes I'm up and doing things from my bed.
Oh,
Sure,
But-
because you can.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, but I'm not getting ready. That's one thing I'm not doing.
Well, we know
I'm
that.
not getting
Yeah.
ready ever unless I really need to. Like that surprises me. I don't know why. It surprises me about you that you would like, it doesn't matter if literally the only person I'm going to see today is my husband. I'm still
Yes.
going to get up and put makeup on and do all those things. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, I'll literally be like, hey, we're going to the store. And Paul goes to the store with me all the time. Like, it's
Yes.
like,
Y'all are always
Y'all-
together.
yes.
well, you know, that actually started because when the kids were little and we couldn't do things together.
Yes.
Like we couldn't
Yeah.
just leave them or whatever. And so it was like they had gotten to the point where they were just old enough that we were like, maybe we can like leave for
I
about
remember
an
this
hour, right?
happening. Yeah.
And so it was like the store was the thing that
Yes.
was like,
Yeah.
maybe we can go to the store and leave them
Yeah.
by themselves for a little. So it almost became like a little date. It was
Yes.
like, and so it just
Stay.
continued
Yeah.
on. And now it is like, it's our date.
I
Like it's
would
our
rather
time.
stick like spicy toothpicks into my eyeballs than go to the grocery store with Peter.
Why?
He's usually at the grocery store.
He is.
I saw him last time I was there, actually.
He's always there. Because number one, we don't grocery shop in bulk, and number two, I don't go. Like, he's going, and he is the most indecisive person in the world.
Oh.
So, and then he's like all in a huff if I leave him on the aisle to go do what I need to do. He's like, I mean, you couldn't have just waited for me. No, I couldn't have, because I can shop the whole store in the time you're trying to sell what pickles you want. Like,
That's crazy.
yes. No.
Well, I keep trying to convince Chris that the Food Lion will sell stuff to him. Right? Like,
Does
if
he
he goes
have
in there with
Yeah,
money,
right.
and he's like, I mean, we don't have this, and
I'm
I'm
not
like,
gonna
you know,
deny
like,
you.
good news. Food Lion now they'll sell to anyone. You don't need a special card or like it's not a membership based thing. If you go in there and you have money, they'll give you whatever you want for that money, right? And so, but no, Chris hardly
Yeah.
ever goes.
Well, so let me ask y'all about working your schedules.
Yeah.
Do you have schedules? Like, do you guys have a routine that every day you kind of follow? As far as like, do you get up every day at the same time? I know you're an early bird.
Well, my dogs wake me up. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So no one's sleeping past like 5 in my house. Now, after, Smalls is 12, after he goes, like Sophie will probably sleep in a little bit
Yeah.
later. But I wake up like, 5:30.
Yeah.
And I do have a very
You do.
I do have a routine, but I'm just a creature of habit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't crave a lot of variation.
You're not
or
a
that.
sleep in person though, even on the weekends, are you?
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
no. Sometimes if I'm like up late or something, I'll
Yeah.
tell Chris like, can you get the dogs in the morning, and I'll
Right.
sleep into like 6:45 or something.
Yeah.
But even on
It's
the
your body
weekends.
clock too, I think. So
100%.
you know what I mean? Like,
But
your
I'm
body
also
just
in bed
adjusts.
early.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
in bed
Yes.
early. But
Yeah.
so I just kind of have so for me, the working from home has always worked, but I had to make it work.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you grow in capacity. I remember Carrie Staler
Mhm.
when she had Tori.
Yeah.
She was getting in groceries, and I was like, can I grab some? She had like the kid in her purse, and she's like, no, I've got mom hands now. And I'll never forget that because I didn't have kids at the time.
Yeah.
And then, I realized how much I got done at home with no sitter, with 3 kids, like
Yes.
all about, I can't even imagine. I must have been a productivity beast, right? And I don't have that anymore.
No,
I don't
yeah.
have the mom hands anymore.
Right.
So it's funny, but I still stick to kind of my same routine because I know what makes my business work.
Right.
And so I'm going to get that done by like 10.
Yeah.
And then the rest is kind of either clients
Take it
or
as it
grading.
comes or whatever was
Absolutely.
already appointments or whatever you
Yeah,
had. Like,
thinking
yeah.
dreaming up new stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Right.
But to me, I feel like if anybody's watching and they're struggling working from
Yeah.
home, right? Like for me, I feel like, one is like you are working, right? It's not a trip to Disney World. You're on vacation. Just
Yeah.
remember that,
Yeah.
get a separate space. I've always had a separate like office
I do that too.
for my business.
Yeah.
You know, always, even if there was one that like for a while, it was on the other side of the homeschool room. So I could actually shut the door, but I did have my own
Mhm.
space and the kids would learn like, you know, just like a dog learns to go
Yeah.
to use the bathroom outside. Like the kids would learn when mom goes to the desk, she's working.
Right.
And so like have your routine, have your space and understand that it's work. So sometimes you might not feel like it, but you got to press through
Mhm.
the same as you would if you were staring at your boss right across the
Mhm.
way. And I feel like in that way you can have the best, like you have the freedom and you have the structure, even if you have to create the structure
Yeah.
yourself and tweak it, right? Tweak it as you go, you know.
Yeah. To what you need, what fits that moment and that
Yeah.
time. And yeah.
So I'm like, I am a person who makes like, these are the things that I need to get done today. But I'm also very much open to whatever I feel like at the moment,
Mhm.
as long as it's work related. Like, right?
Yeah.
Like I literally might be in the middle of getting one thing knocked out for work, but feel like I want to pull this
Yes.
report and look at these numbers and that are completely unrelated to the task at
Yeah.
hand. And I'm like, I'm going to pull the report and look at these numbers. Like
Yeah.
I allow myself to
Yes.
do,
Yes.
to
You embrace ADD.
kind of push me where, oh, I totally do. I'm like super ADD.
Totally.
Super
Hello. Yes.
ADD. But I literally look at it like something's stirring in me. I'm just going to let that happen.
Right.
Like, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I'm really into it.
Yeah.
Why
I'll
would
come
I,
back to this.
why would I
It's-
shut that
right.
down?
It's not time sensitive
Right.
at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get, yeah.
Because tomorrow might be the day that I'm supposed to look at the numbers and I'm going to be like,
Yes.
Right.
Like it's, so
Yes.
I'm just very open to like,
Yeah.
I call it
letting
moseying,
myself-
right? Like
Yeah.
I'm a mosier.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just do this and then I'll mosey on
Yeah.
to like some other idea or, you know, something will get my curiosity piqued
Yes.
and I'm, you know, onto that or, but I always have my list. I always have start times and end times if I ever have appointments. I feel like that's a big one
Yes.
for working at home is people have start times and no end time.
Mhm.
And so they end up having like a hour and 15-minute conversation
Mhm.
about nothing.
That's huge too with the end of the day stop time
Oh yeah.
for
that's
us
huge.
as
Yeah.
agents, which I don't know why we've created this because nothing can be done
Yes.
really after 5 o'clock essentially.
Mhm.
Courts are closing, title companies are closing,
Mhm.
lenders are closing.
Mhm.
There's nothing that can be done. I don't know why we've set ourselves up in this, but we have. However, different agents some are very good with setting a boundary and saying, not me. I'm like, if you send it to me, I see it, I can't not respond. I need to just go ahead and get it off my plate, you know,
Yeah.
so that I don't wake up to it. But that's my own issue, not, you know, yeah, we create our own.
I'm similar to that. Like if I
Chaos.
see an email or a
Yes.
text or something, I'm going to want to just
Yeah,
address
Knock
it
it out.
and be
Yeah.
done with it. And
totally.
now I will say that this is just a little total side note that for the longest time I would like shoot an email over to, you know, somebody on my team or whatever. And literally the first thing I'm saying is,
Don't
like,
worry
it's-
about
I
this.
say that
It's
to
like
your
10:30
team.
or not,
Right? Like I'm like, please do not read this
Yes.
until tomorrow, you know,
Yeah.
whatever,
I
or
say that
until Monday or
to
whatever.
Christine and Tanya all the time,
But now they have the schedule send.
yeah.
And I'm using that all the
Oh.
time. Like it's so awesome. I'm like, oh my god, I finally don't like
I
this
didn't
day
even-
will
I didn't even
respond
think
to
of
me.
Well,
And I'm like,
definitely.
stop it.
Yes.
Go be with your family. Like
Right.
I own this shit. Like I'm of
Yes.
course I'm okay with 10:30 at night.
Right.
I'm answering something.
Or it's
whatever,
just like I'm thinking about it. I want to send it. I
Yes.
can't tell you how many times I'm
but
like,
totally.
please don't respond. Yeah, tomorrow's fine. I'm just going to send this while I'm thinking about it, and so that I
Yes.
don't forget in the morning.
Totally.
Yes.
Because then tomorrow will come and I'll be like, it'll 5 o'clock
Yes.
to the next day and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't even
Yes.
right? So but now I schedule some stuff. It is
I
the
forget
best.
about that. I know. See,
I
that's
forget about that.
yeah.
Okay.
All
Just
right.
little things.
Anything else we could possibly say about working from home?
Or anything else.
Oh my gosh.
Or other shit.
I think that. I mean, I'm sure we'll revisit this topic. Yeah, but as things maybe in our next 10 minutes. But yes, I think we're good. Yeah.
All right.
I hope this helped everybody.
All right, let me go
Thanks for watching.
cut it off. End stream. All right.